Bold truth: the death of a long-time, Israeli-backed militia leader in Gaza underscores how efforts to build an indigenous Palestinian proxy force against Hamas have backfired, or at least proven unstable. Yasser Abu Shabab, a Bedouin tribal figure based in the Israeli-controlled segment of Gaza, is reported to have died from wounds sustained in a fierce confrontation with powerful, heavily armed local families. Local media in Gaza and other sources describe the clash as occurring within the last 48 hours. Abu Shabab led the Popular Forces, the largest and best armed of several militias that surfaced in Gaza in the later stages of the two-year war. These groups appear to have benefited from Israeli support as part of a broader strategy to empower proxy factions in order to wear down Hamas and exert greater control over the civilian population. Details about the exact timing of Abu Shabab's death remain unclear. Reports suggest he was in his 30s and had previously been expelled by his own clan. He reportedly died after refusing to release a hostage captured by his men from a formidable local family, prompting the hostage's relatives to attack the Popular Forces base and causing casualties on both sides. Abu Shabab was said to have been badly injured during the fighting and died from his wounds in Gaza. A Hamas spokesperson labeled Abu Shabab a collaborator and vowed to pursue him, though Hamas denies direct involvement in his death. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu acknowledged in June that Israel had armed anti-Hamas clans and factions in Gaza, but there has been no official government statement addressing Abu Shabab's death. Analysts criticized Israel's policy of backing such militias, arguing that these groups offer little real alternative to Hamas and risk entrenching violence rather than resolving it. Dr. Michael Milstein, a former Israeli military intelligence officer and Hamas expert, suggested that Abu Shabab's death was predictable, whether at Hamas hands or due to clan infighting. The emergence of anti-Hamas groups has continued in areas of Gaza under Israeli control. Palestinian analyst Dr. Riyam Ouda noted that Abu Shabab's death could cast doubt on the ability of these fighters to challenge Hamas effectively. Hossam al-Astal, another militia leader, described his faction as offering an alternative force to Hamas, though his own whereabouts are unknown. Following a US-backed ceasefire in October, Abu Shabab's forces, estimated at around 100 fighters, kept operating from Gaza's areas under Israeli influence. In mid-November, the group posted a video showing fighters receiving orders to conduct a security sweep to clear Rafah of terror, indicating ongoing campaigns against Hamas fighters believed trapped in tunnels. A week later, the Popular Forces claimed to have captured Hamas members. Israeli intelligence agencies reportedly turned to individuals like Abu Shabab after attempts to assemble a broad anti-Hamas coalition of community leaders, and clan elders failed to gain traction against Hamas's repression in Gaza. Some members recruited into these factions were accused of looting aid convoys, fueling concerns that Israel was enabling theft of humanitarian aid to bolster its new allies. In June, Abu Shabab, a Tarabin Bedouin, described his activities as humanitarian in nature and insisted he did not operate directly with the Israeli military. The broader strategy of supporting militia factions, like the Popular Forces, followed Netanyahu's decision not to empower the Palestinian Authority to administer Gaza, leaving room for these proxy networks to fill the power vacuum. The Popular Forces coordinated closely with Israeli forces around controversial aid distribution sites run by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, a private organization backed by the US and Israel that later shut down. Meanwhile, proposals such as Donald Trump's Gaza plan envision Hamas disarmament and the territory being governed by a transitional authority with multinational stabilization forces. But progress remains stalled as Hamas has refused to disarm, and no consensus has emerged on international troop deployment. The Gaza conflict was sparked by a Hamas raid into Israel in 2023 that killed about 1,200 people and abducted around 250. The subsequent Israeli offensive and related ceasefire period have left Gaza in ruins, with tens of thousands of Palestinians dead or displaced and the humanitarian situation severely deteriorating.